Focus on Ports, brought to you by Transnet National Ports Authority.
There are many ways of getting to Durban. The quicker route by plane, which is about 2 hours, or you could travel by road, 12.5 hours. We are here to find out why anybody would take a 3-day journey by sea in the MSC Opera as it takes its maiden trip. Stay tuned to find out.
This is the imposing hull of the MSC Opera, the newest and most modern cruise liner from the MSC stable to call on South African waters. It's her first time in South Africa and a big indication of the changing fortunes of the cruise liner industry. The industry has seen impressive growth in the last few years, and cruise tourism in South Africa is growing in line with international trends. The MSC Opera boasts some 856 cabins, 4 restaurants, 2 pools, and an array of impressive amenities that cater to every whim of the holidaymaker. Cape Town's harbour was abuzz with anticipation as holidaymakers waited their turn to sample the MSC Opera, which can easily accommodate 1,700 guests. And this is what awaits those lucky enough to pay for a holiday on the high seas. In a nutshell, it is luxury, pure and simple.
The MSC Opera is quite large, just over 200 meters in length. Caters for just over 2,100 guests with 700 crew members. The inaugural event will be held actually now in the upcoming days in Durban. We have a very special event for media and of course for all the travel agents exposing the MSC Opera into the new South African season.
The Cape Town Passenger Terminal, currently merely a facility to process the arrival and departure of travellers, is in for some major upgrades in the years to come. We spoke with Cape Town's port engineer.
Max, please tell me about the infrastructure that you currently have right now in the Port of Cape Town for the cruise liner industry in particular.
Currently we have very basic facilities in the Port of Cape Town. It is simply a berthing facility at E-berth to be precise, where we're able to dock fairly large vessels, vessels in excess of 200 meters, 250 meters, up to depth of 12.2 meters draft. So that's quite substantial. What we have on the backup area is obviously key space and sufficient space to be able to maneuver a lot of traffic, a lot of passengers. But what we don't have that would meet, let's say, world standards is a passenger terminal that will process passengers in a satisfactory manner. And I think that whilst we have tried to make do with what we have, we are currently upgrading certain facilities within the port. We expect those to be finished around about February next year. And I think that will make life a little more pleasing to both the passengers as well as the lines that are calling in the port. But going forward, we certainly see an improvement within passenger facilities in the Port of Cape Town. We've started a process already. We've actually gone through an expression of interest phase where we have basically tested the market to see is there any specific interest in passenger facilities in the Port of Cape Town. And I can actually tell you that it's been quite successful. There's a lot of interest that's being shown in such facility. And what we will do now is we will embark upon a Section 56 process, basically to identify a passenger terminal operator.
So, with all our luggage checked in, it was all aboard to arrive in Durban 3 days later. This is the site that greets all cruise liners to call on the Port of Durban. A cold storage building that has been converted into a makeshift passenger terminal. Zola Mkowana of Transnet took us through the terminal and explained that together with Transnet stakeholders and the cruise liner sector, a semblance of a decent passenger terminal is currently operational.
What we have done in the interim is to really best utilize the footprint that we have. Compared to last year, you will see that most of the services that used to be done inside the terminal are now being done externally. We are through MSC. There is a tent that has got all the check-in counters to try and facilitate and process the passengers much more faster. And within the next 3 and 4 years, Transnet is going to go out and construct a new cruise terminal. And the location is much better, because the area where it's going to be located in is right in the Durban waterfront. So already you can see that it starts to blend in with that environment, where also through the city of Durban, there is further developments that's going to happen. So you already have your yacht club in that precinct. You have your high-rise, much more modern housing complexes. So it's an area that is best suited, and it's completely out of the operations.
In the meantime, an expression of interest process has been initiated. From that process alone, it is clear that there is enough appetite from the investor community to develop a more permanent facility.
What we did is we went on an expression of interest to find out whether there are people out there who are willing to invest in a terminal, who are willing to operate, and maybe after, say, 25 years transfer the asset to Transnet, to the Transnet Port Authority. That is what we are trying to do. We have since determined that there is interest out there, and early in the year we will be going out on an RFP, and the individuals or entities would then invest in the facility.
The cruise liner season is typically 5 to 6 months long in South Africa. In that case, any new facility will have to be utilized and optimized out of season.
What we need to do is to think out of the box, put in place a facility that would be utilized on and off peak. You know, it all depends on how it's designed. You could put a facility with some restaurants. You could put a facility maybe with some kind of hotel, academy, you know, that type of thing. It all depends. People would have to be innovative in how they conceptualize the facility.
Well, after 3 nights at sea with South Africa's latest cruise liner, one can assume that this sector is set for some impressive growth and development. Lionel King for Focus on Ports, Durban.